All right, Chris Clark here, and joined by a very special guest today. We've got South Carolina wide receiver Josh Vann, and this is our latest Garnet Trust exclusive. It is brought to you by the fine folks at 360 Clean. Go check out those folks, 360clean.com. Josh, thanks for joining us, man. Good to hear from you. Good to see you. You're back in Columbia now, I know, and we got a lot of ground to cover for sure today. A lot of things have happened, but I don't want to bury the lead. In this interview, the theme, of course, today is to talk about your decision to come back, and that's what really I want to begin our focus on. But let's talk a little bit though about kind of how you got here to where you had that decision. You were a big time recruit coming out of high school. I remember covering you in high school. I
Yeah,
came to your signing day ceremony in 2018, I guess that was class of 2018.
yeah.
And last year you really broke out, right? So um, tell us about that process and just kind of how that's been from the time you went to high school, signed early, got to South Carolina, went through your freshman season, all the way up to this point to where you had a legitimate decision make as to whether or not you were going to go pro.
Yeah. Well, one, thank you for having me. Glad to be here. But yeah, it's it's been a I would say a roller coaster process, but it's been one heck of a ride. Coming out of high school, like I said, I didn't start getting recruited until my senior year of high school. So I was new to the whole recruitment, getting all the offers and everything. So, when all the big schools started coming out, just sitting and talking with my mom, my parents, and just like, because we was also just new to it and trying to visit as many places as we could. But she always told me, and my granddad always told me, just pray about it and talk to God, and He'll show you what you really want. And that's when I came. I always prayed about it and put everything in His hands. And that's when I came up with the decision to choose South Carolina. So it was so much of a home here. It felt like my home. It felt like it was the place I needed to be. So yeah, that's what led to my decision to come here. Mind you, first couple years here, it's been keep it 100. I was taking the back seat and just learning from everybody else and what to do, what not to do, how to practice, everything has been something I just been taking mental notes of. And like I said, last season, it's a good breakout season for me. So you know it was a lot of things that led to the decision to coming back here or going pro. But I'm happy with my decision of coming back to the University of South Carolina for my final year here. And just very thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure, man. And so to look back, I just kind of thinking about your career, your freshman season in 2018, go back and look at the guys on that team, like the guys that you're talking about learning from, Debo Samuel,
Yeah.
right, who is one of the best players in the NFL right now,
Yep.
Brian Edwards and Shy Smith. Impressive group of guys, right?
Yeah.
And then, your sophomore season,
Excuse me.
and I'm glad you were talking about keeping it real because I know you won't mind me saying this. Like your sophomore season didn't go how you envisioned, I'm
No,
sure,
they did.
right? But so the freshman year, you can understand you're a freshman. Like you definitely showed flashes that freshman year. You're sitting behind those other guys, learning, getting into it. When you look back at your sophomore year, like what do you think of in terms of just some of the things that were like uncharacteristic? Like we all remember like high school, your hands, like you caught everything,
Yeah.
but that year it didn't go how you thought it would. Like, why do you think that was now that you can look back on it?
Um, I feel like the main thing, I think I was so caught up on freshman year, and like I wanted to play so much. Like I literally did want to play a lot, and I felt like you know any freshman coming in, like they were like I need to be playing, or it's a lot of things that go through a little young freshman's head, because you're still young. You coming out of high school. If you're a big time player in high school, so you think you're coming in college, it's a whole different ball game. So I have my flashes. So thinking coming into sophomore season, I just think I was just so caught up on I needed more playing time than I got last year, or I need to be doing more, or it was a lot of demands, and I think I was just so caught up in everything else, but what I needed to get done, myself, player wise, and mentally wise, and body wise, and like you said, a lot of uncharacteristic things happen, a lot of drop balls, there's a lot of games. I think I was so caught up on me not playing as much my sophomore year because I thought I was gonna have a better shot, but I still had to wait. So I'm a little upset, a little mad, and I'm just caught up in my own head. And I think, I just got in my own way.
And then junior year, you did play in 10 games your junior year, but obviously the production wouldn't really kick up until last season. What about your junior season, which would have been obviously 2020? Had some injuries, right, that you were working through a little bit that
Yeah,
year? Is that kind of what
yeah.
describe
That
what you
was
were working through that year?
that was junior season. Junior season was a lot of tweaks and strains, man. I tweaked my hamstring. I don't know how many times. Like I can probably count on both my hands and my toes how many times I tweaked my hamstring. And then I think I broke my thumb towards the end of the year. I think that was no, actually no, it wasn't. I think it was. I don't know. It was a lot of injuries I was dealing with junior season. So I was literally just battling through that and you know just trying to find myself really.
So fast forward 2021, obviously this is your breakout year, 40 something catches, made some huge plays this year. And I got to say, one thing we would always tell people, man, is like we saw Wes and myself over at Gamecock Central. We saw Josh play in high school. I think everybody knew the talent was there, right? And so
Yeah.
finally broke out. Obviously, staying healthy is a big part of that, right? You stayed
Right.
healthy. But what for you, what clicked? Like what was it that clicked going into 2021 and throughout the season that helped you find that production that you knew was in you, your family did, and everybody else knew as well?
Um, I feel like what clicked was, you know, it was no time to wait no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was sitting behind some pretty tough guys, some pretty good cats, and I praise them because they were some good guys, and I learned a lot from them. So I just had to go through that process, and last year, I was the I was the big I would say the big dog, but you know it was a new coaching staff, so that was great. They didn't know anybody. Well, I would say they didn't know anybody, but it's a new coaching staff, so it's like everybody has a clean slate. So somebody has to outwork somebody. Somebody has to do something different than this person. Whereas the last couple of years, like everybody already knew, like okay, this is his junior year, so next year is his senior year, so they already have this person. Like okay, this how this gonna go. New coaching staff, clean slate for everybody. And around this time now, I feel like one thing that for myself, what I never did my first 3 years here, like I never really got extra work in. When they always say, what you doing when the other man is sleeping, when the cameras wasn't on me, when the lights wasn't on, I'm at the facility just getting extra work in by myself or with a couple of teammates. And if it wasn't every day, it was every other day. And that just going back to me just perfecting my craft and getting catching on the jugs, running routes with no quarterback, cone work. So by the time every camp and the season came, I already been doing everything, and everything just seemed to click.
Did you at any point kind of like, I don't know, lose your love for the game a little bit? Like what was it that made you say, all right, was there like a turning point of, all right, I've really got to start putting in that extra work? Like
Yeah,
was it because you had kind of lost the love, or was it just did something click where you just realized that's what was missing?
yeah, I definitely did lose the love for the game because, like I said earlier, like I was just stuck in my own ways, stuck in my head. Like I should be playing, man. I should be doing, like I should be playing more. Like I should be getting the ball more. And at that point, it was just I already was content with okay, like I'm not gonna be doing as much. I got to sit behind this guy, and I'm not really just taking advantage of cherishing that. I can just be learning from everything from this guy, and then when my time comes, you know, I can be able to step up into that position, which I did, but I did lose the love for it. I think after my sophomore year or midway through my sophomore year when like I really wasn't doing much, like I was just content with going to practice, eating, school, sleeping, and it was like the same rotation, like this every day, the same thing over and over again. And it was just like I'm just going through the motion. And like I said, I think what really clicked, like I said, I have a daughter now, so I'm like, hey, I gotta step out, man. I gotta do something different. Like I just can't be in this same path. Like I gotta do something different. And the rest is history.
How much of a role did, everybody talks about, a lot of the players we've talked to have pointed out Shane Beamer and like his positivity and kind of the vibe that he brought to the program. So with Coach Beamer, with Coach Justin Stepp, what were their roles in this and kind of helping you elevate your game, maximize your game, and maybe even changing your mindset a little bit? Did those guys play a role in that process?
Is they did, and it's kind of I wouldn't say it's silly, um, but I think with them like they just always had their door open. You know what I'm saying? Not not so much as like they literally helped me physically and stuff like that, but as little as it may seem, just by Coach Beamer always having his door open, you can just go in there anytime, and he'll be in there, and you can just talk to him about anything. Um, like I said, Coach Stepp, like I never did, I never did used to go to the facility after hours as much as I did last year, and just kick it with my position coach, and just talk to him, and he sometimes he'll coach me up on some things, but it's literally just going there and just talk about life, um, and literally just the mental aspect, and that was really like the biggest role that they played for me last season.
Mhm. So when you're on the field, can you think of, was it practice or maybe a game or just something that happened to where like you regained some of that confidence? Like that, yeah, I can do this. I can be the man. I can be the leading receiver on this team. Like, was there a catch you made early in the season? Did it keep building during the season? Was there anything you could point to there?
It definitely kept building through the season. I know first game we played EIU. I think I had two catches. I had a touchdown. But I think like it really, you know, I wouldn't say I was surprised, but like, as you know, like I caught that first touchdown versus EIU, and I really didn't do any. Like I don't really do anything when I score. I try to keep it professional, like act like I've been there before. But it's like I caught the touchdown, and I was like surprised myself that I caught the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So like I was just happy. But I think what really kicked, like I definitely gained confidence throughout the season. But I think like the second game versus ECU, um, I think the first catch I had an outbreaking route. It was verse man coverage, which, like I said, I've been working on that during the spring. So when it popped up, got open, caught an outbreaking route, and I think after that, yards after the catch, I think I maybe got like 6, 7 yards after the catch. I think that's when I'm like, okay, like it's time to go. Like I don't found this like get me the ball. Like I'm back in my mode. Like okay, like it's go time. And then throughout the season, everything just happened.
It kind of seemed like, at the time when you guys played Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
obviously the game didn't go how y'all wanted, but they won the national championship. Really good team,
Right.
probably the best defense in the country most of the year.
Excuse
You
me.
had a good game, and now,
Right.
like, were there some moments in there that helped build on that confidence level with some of the catches, some of the plays you made?
Um. Yeah. I mean, like I said, my confidence gained throughout the season. Each game. I mean, like I'm pretty sure you can ask any football player, any competitor, anybody that plays sports, or even in life. Before you have something big, like everybody always have butterflies, have some little goosebumps, or just some type of butterflies in their stomach. But for some people, they get the first catch and they're okay. Some people they get the first hit, they're okay. Some people make their first tackle, they're okay. Like, some people take their first snap and they're okay. Like I did, I had a big game versus Georgia. I mean, but that was like literally it's Georgia, what I'm saying? Everyone might say like, okay, that's the game of the history or whatever. But like I've been taught since I was little. They put their pads on the same way I put mine on. I just saw it as another game, no matter who it's against. But those plays that I made in that game, like you said, you've been watching me since high school. I've been doing that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I'm just always thankful for the opportunity that my coaches call my number, and I
Mhm.
just got to go make the play.
Um, one of those plays that you made in the Georgia game, you made a great play. You had a little penalty, saying a little something, and Coach Beamer was asked about it later. And I know, watching your reaction, you knew, like, yeah, went a little far there. What do you remember what Coach Beamer said to you there, and like what it kind of meant to you in that moment for him to pull you aside?
It's crazy because the game before the ECU game, we was talking about playing, like we always talk about playing smart football, but we was definitely talking about literally just being the smart team. Like every week we go over situational football, whether it's other teams or it's teams in the league. And the emphasis last year was definitely taunting. It's probably going to be an emphasis this season again, and we was definitely going over like penalties that happen when cats are taunted. And in the moment, like I said, I caught the ball, and I don't know, man. It was just in the moment where like soon as it happened, I'm like, my bad. And Coach Beamer, he was like, you're smarter than that. It's over with. It just like he wasn't like, don't do it again. Like, oh, mad and upset. Like, it's just a simple like you're smarter than that, and we learn from it, and it's out the way. So
Yeah,
didn't happen no more that
didn't
season.
happen. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. All right, so let's bring it forward now to present day. Y'all are in the middle of winter workouts now, right?
Yeah.
So what's kind of the vibe in the locker room and in the weight room right now? Like, you guys generally surpassed expectations last season, win 7 games. You have a big bowl win. What's the vibe from what you've seen from the guys that are in the building right now?
Um, we literally just had a team meeting this morning. And our strength staff, Coach Luke Day, head strength Coach Luke Day, he was asked like, what's the difference now than last year? Um, and it's literally like I believe what he said. Everybody's more serious now. You know what I'm saying? Like we were serious last year, but you can definitely see like and definitely feel like everybody is like literally buying in to what we have going on. Like yes, we seven win season last year, beat all expectations. Some people thought we was gonna win one game. Some people probably thought we wasn't gonna win any. But like Coach Beamer said all last year, we write our own story. So now everybody you know want to root for the Gamecocks, but that's okay. But it's definitely a good serious feeling vibe that's in the locker room right now that everybody is like literally, you definitely feel like everybody's buying in to what we got going on. The culture that's changing with Coach Beamer and all the coaches that he brought in, is here too. So definitely got to be more serious now.
Now, going back to your kind of decision to come back this year, I want to hit on that a little bit more and loop in kind of a personal angle. You mentioned that before we got on here to record, you just walked your dog, who's about 1, but now you have an actual human in your life too. You got a daughter.
Yeah.
Tell me, how was that experience, man? Just like, I have 2 daughters of my own. I've been there. What was that like, just having your daughter born? Like, how did that change everything for you? Even
Um,
looping into your actual decision to come back too.
yeah, it changed a lot. Like I said, me myself, like I'm a big kid myself. Like if you ever got to hang around me and like maybe a whole like take a whole day with me, a life with Josh Vann. You know, I try to do everything a kid want to do. Like I want to go to all the amusement parks. I want to do the roller coasters. I want to do paintballing. I want to go karting. I want to go to an arcade. I want to do everything a kid do. Like that's me. Like I want to play video games. I want to play board games. Like I literally want to do everything. Like I'm still 8 years old. So it's really funny because they just like people around the locker room. They're like, or even like some of the athletic train, like anybody that that knows me. I'm like, Josh, like you having a kid. It's like it's funny. It's funny, but it's crazy, man. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Like I'm still to this day, like she's about to be 2 months old on the 7th already, and I'm still amazed, and like I'm thankful. I thank God every day for it, and like I just want to be the best dad I can be for her, and you know the the decision to come back. I had a breakout season, but it's like do I go to the league and potentially do something off of 1 year of film, or do I come back so I can have a better situation of where the league may lead me to? So that was my biggest decision, the
Mhm.
biggest, I guess, influence of my decision to coming back to the University of South Carolina.
So you're gonna have another year to, put some more tape,
Yeah.
out there for scouts. So what is your focus? Like off season, spring football this year? Obviously, you want to have more production, but are there some particular things that you're really, really working on in the off season as you prepare for your final year that you really want to improve on so you can put the best tape possible out there this year?
Yeah. Definitely I need to get stronger. I'm gonna say I'm weak, but I definitely need to get stronger. That's one thing that I do want to work on. Which we have like one of the top facilities in the world, so I'm definitely taking advantage of that. Um, and definitely just pretty much all the little things. Where field work, where it comes to blocking or technique in my route running, um, looking the ball in when I catch. It's pretty much all around. I wouldn't say like one thing stands out what I need to work on. Um, I feel like I just need to work on being a better me. Like I said, last year I had a good season, but that doesn't that doesn't dictate me. Like I always want to be better. I always want to get better at something. So if it's one week that I want to do better at, heck, just running off the field during practice and not walking off the field. One week I want to work on catching low balls. One week I want to work on blocking. Like it's pretty much everything that I want to work on so I can be a better me.
Yeah, exactly. So before a couple more before I let you get out of here, Josh, really appreciate your time. Uh, Quarterback situation,
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler coming in. Have you talked to Spencer? B, were you familiar with his game, like from watching him at Oklahoma, watching him in high school? What do you think of him joining the team?
Um, yeah, we exchanged a few words on social media. Like I said, I was up in Ohio when I got the news that he was coming in. So I'm thinking like I was like, yeah, we gonna. I told him like we was gonna link up and catch up when I get back in town. And like I said, I'm back in town. I'm like, I'm not like searching for him, but I'm like, we have workouts. I'm like, where he at? Everybody like, oh, he ain't here yet. So I didn't know that he had wherever he's at. I didn't know like he had stuff going on up there, wherever he is. So I haven't really met him yet. Um, but as crazy as it is, like I play football, but I don't really watch football like that. So it's crazy as it is. I watch it here and there, like obviously like big games like an SEC championship, national championship. I watch both of those games. Um, but like I said, throughout the day, or if it's a game on, obviously like Saturday, if we have like a late game, like I'm gonna definitely watch football games because that's the only thing that we really get to do. Um, but like I've seen a couple of his games, and like I said, he got game. I know that for sure. So I'm very excited that he's joining us this year. And like I said, like I told him, I'm gonna make you look good. Yeah, you make me look good, I'll make you look good.
Right.
It's a one-way street. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited for him to join the team, and I'm ready to get to work.
I'm glad you said that about football. I was actually wondering. I'm looking at your posters back there. Not as much football going on.
No,
Yeah,
basketball, man. I was
yeah,
a basketball player. Like I love the game of basketball. I love basketball. I love football too. But growing up, man, I wanted to play basketball. Like I ain't want to do
yeah.
too much football. I want to play basketball. So, you know.
Well, sometimes we ask guys on the team when we interview them about like their starting five, like in the gym when y'all go run a game of basketball. And I think you've made all the teams. So you'll be happy to know that. Like your teammates definitely picked you as their point guard or their two guard, something
Yeah,
like that.
I'm really like that on the court. So,
Okay, that's what we've heard. All right, so all right, before we let you get out of here, last thing, give me your starting five. Then I know you'll pick yourself. You can be the point guard or whatever. Who out of your teammates?
Can it
Who's
be recent teammates as well or now?
not you? You go recent teammates too. If they've left the team, that's cool too. Let's just hear like your all time since you've been at Carolina. Your starting five.
All time starting five. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna exclude the two guard because I would definitely be the two guard,
two
obviously.
guard. Okay, I
I'm
got you.
definitely on there. Jalen Foster will be my point guard.
Okay,
Jalen Foster can definitely ball.
that's right.
If I wanted to go small forward, ooh, I'll definitely probably go Chad Terrell. Chad would definitely be my small forward. If I wanted to go power forward, I would definitely choose Jordan Birch. I would definitely choose Jordan Birch as my small power forward. Who would be my center? Ooh, I need a big boy. Who can hoop? Who can hoop? Who can hoop?
I was trying to think. I feel like EJ Jenkins made a team at one.
EJ would definitely be my center. Okay, yes.
Okay,
EJ would definitely be my center. That's my top five. Jalen Foster,
okay.
me, Chad Terrell is my small forward, Jordan Birch is my power forward, and EJ is my center. That's my starting five.
That's what that sounds pretty good, man. Yeah. All right. All right. Awesome. Well, Josh, hey, really appreciate you taking the time to join us, man. Really cool to hear about your journey. And of course, this is the first interview in a series that we're going to do throughout the year. We got a couple other ones with Josh before the season. And then actually in the midst or towards the end of the season. And of course, this interview series is brought to you through the Garnet Trust by 360 Clean. Go check those guys out, 360clean.com. Cleaning for health since 2005. Josh, good luck to you, man. Appreciate you taking time to kind of outline why you came back. And all the Gamecock fans out there excited about your decision to return too.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man.